Good evening and welcome to the news tonight at 6. I'm English US First tonight. Government threats and incendiary language over the Northern Ireland Protocol is contributing to recent street disorder in the region, Stormont's Deputy First Minister has warned. Michelle O'Neill, who is the joint leader of the power-sharing executive, said there was a need for London, and her DUP partners in government, to dial down the rhetoric over the post-Brexit trade arrangements. She was commenting after a virtual meeting with Brexit Minister Lord Frost and amid ongoing speculation that the government is preparing to unilaterally suspend the protocol governing Irish sea trade between GB and NE. The incendiary language actually from the British government and the DUP, that's now spilling out onto our streets and we now see street disorder. None of us want that. Michelle O'Neill. 2 buses have been hijacked and burned out in loyalist areas in Northern Ireland this month in incidents linked to protocol opposition. Police were also attacked in clashes at a community interface in West Belfast involving youths from the nationalist Springfield Road and loyalist Schenkel Road, Lanark Way on 2 nights last week. Ms. O'Neill said Lord Frost did not confirm to her that the government would definitely suspend the protocol by triggering Article 16 of the mechanism. However, she linked the government's repeated threats to trigger a suspension as a factor in heightening tensions that have seen the outbreaks of disorder. I've made it very clear to him that it's time to dial down the rhetoric, that the wider community here wants solutions, they want to make the protocol work, they want us to iron out the issues that need to be resolved, but they certainly don't want to see the spill out of the language, the incendiary language actually from the British government and the DUP, that's now spilling out onto our streets and we now see street disorder. None of us want that, said Ms. O'Neill. Another news. Frankie Lewis Rose Ayling-Ellis was left fearing that she might die in EastEnders, after Nancy Carter Maddie Hill cruelly trapped her in the boot of her car. Nancy has been unable to forgive her sister for the hit-and-run atrocity earlier this year. The siblings have been warring for months, and things reached boiling point last week when they fought in the pub. Mick Danny Dyer pleaded with his 2 daughters to make up, but Nancy refused. Frankie, meanwhile, was on cloud 9 when Mick purchased her a car in the wake of her passing her test. Nancy, however, was consumed with jealousy, and proceeded to prank her sister, sticking a banana in the exhaust and showering the car in shaving foam. Next tonight, Susanna Reid was today forced to apologize for asking a lesbian couple trying for a baby, who will be mum. Influencers Meghan, 34, and 33-year-old Whitney Bacon-Evans appeared on Good Morning Britain as they discussed suing the NHS over its discriminatory fertility policy. And finally, sport. England rugby union player Joe Marler has tested positive for COVID-19 and will miss the Autumn Nations Series clash against Australia on Saturday. The Harlequins forward began his 10-day isolation on Monday evening after lateral flow and PCR tests came back positive for the coronavirus. Other England players and staff have tested negative on lateral flow tests and are waiting for PCR test results. Marler played 14 minutes as a second-half replacement in the 69-3 victory over Tonga at the weekend. It is the second time in 4 days that Eddie Jones' squad have experienced a COVID scare. Owen Farrell missed the game against Tonga after testing positive, although his sample was later revealed to be a false positive. Now, with the weather, here's Lee.